Let's see if this sucker works. It says net meeting is now custom streaming on custom live. Let's see who else. I'm still new to this, so we're still getting people.
Yeah, it's all good. Yellow is just everybody jump in.
All right.
Let me know if my mic is too loud or too low.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and let me also hit Twitter real quick.
Are you saying to record this or something?
I am about to.
I could have swore I saw the little pop-up gimmick. Let me see here. It says, what's this saying? It says, something is broken. Hold on.
No, nothing's broken. Nothing's broken.
I know, man. I know.
And let me go ahead and hit record on this computer.
Yeah,
so that way I can good. Like also put up the audio later and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, so all right, cool.
Good. Got it. Boom. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm cool with recording.
All right, and then let me go ahead and hit this, and I'll share the link. But anyways, Mel, first of all, welcome to just the Ali. Salam alaikum, Ali. First one in the room. I appreciate your support. We were just talking about your, just before the stream started about, mashallah, your channel blowing up, and I think a lot of it is, I shouldn't be tooting I shouldn't be like giving you props in your face while you're in the chat box.
No, legit. He was saying how I was saying I liked your stuff, and then Maheen was like, "Yeah, man, mashallah, it's blown up." I said, "Yeah, alhamdulillah, it's blown up. This is legit. This is before we went live." So,
right. Oh, I guess I gotta like update. I still have Ali's page on the thing though, so I have to edit that joint a little bit. But you know what? Because I have the old stream, so let me fix that joint too. Edit, come on. I mean, it's annoying, but customization, details. Let me change that thumbnail. Change. Yeah, I got you, Al-Bara. Al-Bara is like the halal food YouTuber.
Bet.
So he's going to be coming on, inshallah. He's supposed to come on next week, but he's got to get ready for Hajj. He just realized that.
Oh, good. Alhamdulillah, man. May Allah accept it. I
mean. So
you went to Hajj yet, Maheen?
Yeah, I went in 2015.
Alhamdulillah, I went in 2018. Alhamdulillah.
Who'd you go with?
I went with Dar es Salaam, man. I got the special blind man package.
Oh, for real? They got one? Yeah. Okay. Bara, is my thumbnail updated? Can you tell? Yeah, anyways. It's all good.
Times when blind people lose water. I don't know where the hell I put
water. That's get one of your kids or something to hook it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I just had to be tech support in my household here.
Bet. I'll get you. Okay. All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and get started. For those people who don't know who you are, Nadir, why don't you explain a little bit, just real briefly, about your organization, Islam by Touch, and what do y'all do?
Absolutely.
And then we'll move on to some juicy stuff because,
I want that heat. Let's do it. All right.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And my name is Nadir Thabata, and I am one of the co-founders and the president of an organization called Islam by Touch. Islam by Touch is an organization that is dedicated to making Islam accessible and available to the blind community. So I myself am legally blind, meaning that I have some vision, but it's so bad that according to the law of the land, I'm blind, right? So I could see about 20% of what the average person could see. And my wife, who is the other co-founder of this organization, is totally blind. She can't see anything at all. And she is a convert. I was born and raised in a Muslim household. She wasn't. And what we found was, whenever she became Muslim, is that there was not blind accessible material about Islam, especially specifically in English, so that she could read and learn more about Islam and about her deen. So she became Muslim back in 2004, I want to say. And we didn't do anything about it because we were young. She was like 19, I was 18. The ambition of 18 and 19-year-olds, not that far. So time goes on, and in 2015, my wife brings up the question, hey, look, has anything changed? We have our kids. We have 4 kids now, alhamdulillah. And and we homeschool our kids as well. And she wanted to be able to teach the kids more about Islam and the Deen. And we looked again and we found nothing again. So at that point, I was kind of in between jobs, and we just decided, hey, let's do something about it. So we are the first Muslim organization to take a reliable English translation of the Quran, which we use as Sahih International, and to properly edit it and format it and to put it into the Braille format and to distribute it all over the world. We distribute it all over the world for free to blind people. We do other books in Braille, in English Braille. This is all in English. We developed an app for blind people that don't read Braille stuff. We give dawah to the non-Muslim blind community, and we educate the Muslim-sided community on how to treat blind and disabled people with respect and dignity. So, alhamdulillah, this is some of the things we do. We've been doing it since 2016, and alhamdulillah, we do our best to, keep it moving.
And you're a fixture at the conference. You'll be at the Mass Ethnic Convention in Baltimore this next weekend, right?
I'll be there. I'm not. They won't give me a mic though.
Yeah, you have a booth or what?
I do have a booth. Yes, alhamdulillah, I have a booth.
Okay.
Not given to me by ICNA. This is paid by Islam by Touch. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
But I do have a booth, so inshallah, if anyone's gonna be there, I don't know what the hell my booth number is. So just you'll see the big Braille dots somewhere, and come say what's up, inshallah.
Do you have any goodies for anybody that stops by the booth? I know you normally you sell them. You can sponsor the Qur'ans, right? You have the opportunity, right?
So you could sponsor the English meanings of the Quran in Braille for $250. That may go up with inflation because the prices are going up for real. Like for real, for blind people, bro. You don't know. You smiling, but it's real. It's real, bro. And then we have Islam by Touch t-shirts there. Even if you give $1, we have bookmarks, and we'll write your name in Braille on the bookmarks. So a couple of tidbits, a couple of cool things, inshallah.
Okay, so we got a couple of things lined up to talk about today. We got about an hour because I just got a text from my wife saying I got to go pick up the girls because she had to go to work. But starting off, the issue of Palestine always in the news. And his ups and downs, and recently I think with the shooting of the journalist Shireen Abu Akleh, and now people are commenting, and sometimes what happens is that I think on a lot of social justice issues, but I think you can call the Palestinian liberation movement that kind of an issue in a sense, even for because it spans not just for Muslims but across the board. That when you speak about these kind of issues, sometimes people are okay if you're not from that community. You are generally seen as okay as long as you are toting what the line is for the movement, you're good. But as soon as you say something that goes against what the normative narrative the movement is, even if you might be right, then automatically you get challenged. And you, Nadir, as a Palestinian, right now you live in Texas, unfortunately.
Born and raised in New Jersey.
But you in Jersey and
moved to Texas about 4.5 years ago.
Now you're from Patterson, North Jersey area.
Yep, super Palestinian area.
Yeah, right. So I'm not sure if that's Is it the most Palestinians in America, or is it Bridgeview?
That's what the statistics says. I mean, okay. I saw that they had the most. I don't know if this was real or not, but somebody said they had the most Palestinians in the world. I'm like, what about Palestinians?
There's more Palestinians in Jersey.
There's more Palestinians in Jersey than there are in Palestine, apparently. I don't know if that's real or not, but my wife told me that the other day, and she was like, I don't think that's real. I'm like, I don't think that's real either.
Okay. So you as a Palestinian, obviously, I think in general, most people with a conscience understand the idea of Palestinian liberation, right? And there's different subgroups and intersections and things of that go into it, right? Mm-hmm. So when sometimes what I hear that when non-Palestinian, so the reason I'm non-Palestinian, I'm Bangladeshi. The reason I care about Palestine more than any other social justice issue with any country is because Palestine is a Muslim country and we have Al-Aqsa, Al-Quds.
Yes,
and that is the third holiest site in Islam. Yep. Right?
Absolutely. That should be the main reason why you care about it.
You know what I mean? But a lot of times, a lot of Palestinians or people who are advocates and I don't want to paint across the brush because I don't think all there's a group like Students for Just for Palestine. They do great work, and I'm not gonna paint across the brush because I know several people who or work with that organization who don't carry the sentiment, but some maybe do, that they feel like, oh, non-Palestinians, it's not a Muslim issue, it's about Palestinian liberation first and foremost. And then when non-Palestinians talk about Palestine, it's like they get checked. And I'll give you an example of
Yeah,
something that Mort had
please.
brought up from the Mad Mamluks, because he was one of the reasons he got turned off from going to these pro-Palestinian rallies. He said several years back in Chicago, there was a rally, and Chicago usually, puts out for good rallies. They usually go downtown. I don't know what year this was. I think it's this from the how he worded this rally. It seemed like it was a long time ago. It wasn't any
Yeah,
time. It wasn't the last couple of years or anything like that. Maybe like decade or whatnot. So he said he's at this rally, and and he has got the, I think he had the Black Islam flag too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
The Shahada flag, and he
yeah,
was like saying free Palestine, but it's like, and then he also said free Muslim lands,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
then some woman there, who's some Palestinian, she had like the she had the garb and everything,
Yep,
but
yep.
she was like, no, this is about Palestine. This is about Palestine. Stop trying to deflect. You know what I mean? And he was also like noticing
Yeah,
that, like, whenever there was time for prayer, only a few cats would stop to pray,
yeah,
right? And
yep.
so he was just like, "What's this really about?" You know what I mean? And
No,
I
of course. Yeah, I
and
get
he
it.
and he recently, thanks to me, I recorded him and I put it on Twitter.
Yeah,
Gets a lot of flack for some of the stuff he said on a recent Mad Mumbook show, because that's what we like to do. I stir up some trouble. I got Mort goes on a rant. I record it. I put it out, and it gets likes. Right?
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
It's a very easy formula, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I
But
get it.
beneath it is like the sentiment that he has is like, I care about Palestine in the sense that I care about Aqsa and Quds,
Of
and it's the
course,
Holy Land,
of
right?
course.
Right?
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to free a nation just so they can do dubka and eat
No.
mensaf. You know what I'm saying?
even
Like,
even even though Mensef is banging.
mensaf is solid, yeah. So, anyways, go ahead. What are your thoughts on this whole notion? Like,
All
as a
right.
Palestinian, what are your thoughts? And then, what do you think of the community as, like, someone, because you probably can give us a survey of different opinions within the community in Jersey of where you grow up. So I'll have at it.
So so first and foremost, man, people want to make this a strictly Palestini issue for a couple reasons, right? Because if you notice this, a lot of these dudes that stand up for like gay rights,
Yep.
they love to go march in Palestinian parades and marches and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Bro, this is a Muslim issue.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. This is what it should be. It should be a Muslim issue. If you don't want it to be a Muslim issue, take a walk, son. All right, because that's what it's all about. It's all about Al Aqsa. That's really what it's all about. It's about Al Aqsa. It's about saving innocent lives, people living under apartheid and all that. That's 100% true. But don't conflate it with with all these other social justice issues and be like, oh, it's all the same. One sentiment I heard, which I can't stand this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is I remember I was talking to somebody and I was like, bro, like, I'm not trying to have all these like, I don't understand these people that are like, oh, LGBT and all that. It's like, oh, well, we're both marginalized people, so we should band together. It's like, nah, take a walk with that. All right. Don't conflate me with that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Palestine, number one, first and foremost, should be a Muslim issue, bro. This is our third holiest site. This is where the Prophet ﷺ led the messengers and the prophets in prayer. This is where he elevated from in the Isra wal Mi'raj. This is where he elevated to the heavens, bro. Let's be real here. This is what it's all about, right? We want to get back what Umar ibn al-Khattab got the keys for back, 1400 some odd years ago. That's what it should be about. And if we stay focused on that, then maybe, Allahu A'lam, bro. Like we don't know how this is gonna end. We don't know where this is gonna go. But if we keep making this not about Islam, not about freeing Muslim lands and saving Muslim lives and innocent lives in general, right? This is, even if it's just innocent lives, bro, this is a Muslim way of doing things. We don't go around slaughtering people,
Mm-hmm.
full sail. This is not what Muslims do.
Right.
So 100% this is a Muslim cause. People want to come and march with us, that's fine. But yo, don't expect me to come march with you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, don't do it. I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? So
Bro, I mean, but what about like, so let's say there's a part like, so I was too young to remember this, but South Africa had apartheid. You might have other countries going through certain types of, what happened in the Khmer Rouge and like Cambodia and things like that, right?
yeah,
Not necessarily Muslim states, but like oppression. I don't what I hear from you isn't that like we shouldn't care about those issues, right? Because I
yeah,
think if that kind of issue was happening, but people who are secularists, who
yeah,
are advocates for Palestine, would should also look at ththose scenarios similarly, right? But
100%.
Muslims
Muslims
look at
should
all
put a
those
focus
oppressed.
on the Muslim world's first. Let's be real
Correct.
here.
Yeah.
We should look at the Muslim world first. I'm sorry,
Right.
we're biased. We need to be biased
Hmm.
because unlike everyone else, a Muslim should be closer to me than my own blood brother
Right.
and my own blood sister, right?
Word. Word.
So no, I will be biased.
Right.
Afghanistan, Palestine, Lebanon, the Uyghurs, Kashmir,
Mm-hmm.
Syria, all these places, Yemen, they all mean more to me than everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't care about them. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that us as Muslims, we have priorities. And
Right.
our Muslim brothers and sisters is our priority. If it wasn't for example, if it wasn't my priority, I wouldn't have started Islam by Touch to begin with,
Right.
because that's a whole focus on the Muslim community. You don't see me printing out signs for gender neutral bathrooms, bro. I'm not doing that. All
Right. Right.
right.
For sure. For sure. So yeah, I mean, so it's pretty straightforward in a nutshell. How much I'm gonna I don't know how. I don't want to get you in trouble here because I don't know if
Yeah, whatever.
maybe your homies back at Patterson might get on you, but
No, it's all good.
one thing I always struggle. One of the things that I'm not, that, and I live in a Palestinian community too. So
Come on,
you're from
just say it, bro.
Patterson.
Come on.
I live in like Bridgeview, right?
And I'm going to Jersey on Wednesday before I go to Baltimore. So
And I'll Bara, don't throw me under the bus here, right? If you see that, so, But what? So there's one thing that like I have to like, as Muslims, I think we believe that victory comes from Allah, right?
yes,
Agreed. Okay.
agreed. Yes.
And there is a type of and I think this is something that I fundamentally believe, and when we talk about like um you know this issue of like states and like governance and things of that sort, I always felt like these are things that we lose because the Muslims lose their way and Allah takes it from us, right?
Yeah.
And then we gain them when we revive our deen, right? Revive our understanding, and our commitment.
Yeah.
What I see amongst like, if the majority of Palestinians are living in Bridgeview and like Patterson, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I think they're good people for the most part, but so many of them are caught up in like running liquor stores
Yeah.
and
I agree.
these kind of joints, right?
Yeah.
And then using that money, and they're saying, "Do we they're essentially feeding into a kind of oppression in a certain neighborhoods,
Mm-hmm.
maximizing profits, and then sending that money back home or to the masjid or whatever. But like that money's not permissible. We know
No,
that,
that money
right?
is 100% haram.
You
Yes,
know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
Yes.
So now, how do we expect spiritual benefit, when like or help from Allah when there's like clearly that we're just like, all right, we just like people just don't give a damn. I mean, like it's
No,
pretty much like that. You know what I mean?
people don't care. They
Yeah.
don't care at all.
Hmm.
And they'll be like, "Oh, why is this? Why is that?" But then, like you said, they'll go sell a lottery ticket and sell a 40 and all that nonsense that they shouldn't be doing to begin with. And they're like, "Yeah, this is a different country and blah blah blah." It's like, bro, don't please don't. Yani, let's stop playing these games. But more than anything else, though, we need to understand, right? Like this is the cycle of the prophetic tradition, right? Where the
Hmm.
Rasulullah said first is this step, then it's this step, then
Yep.
I think we're in that dictatorship step right now and
Mm.
oppression, you know. And when the victory comes is when Allah decides it's gonna come. But 100%, Allah will not change a condition of a people until they change their own conditions. And we're only getting worse. We're not getting better. You know,
Right. Yeah.
we're not getting better. And even in that same respect, even people like, oh, we're on our deen, we're religious. Like, bro, there's so much nonsense being bought into Islam. People have their culture more as part of their deen than their deen is a part of their deen. People are okay with marching with this person or that person because it's a civil liberty or social justice garbage reason and all this crap. It's like, bro,
Mhm.
like stop selling your deen short to be retweeted and liked on Instagram and all that nonsense, bro.
What are your thoughts on there's a certain trope that some people say that people that Arabs tend to have Palestinians specifically is that they blame everything on the Jews. Um,
Yeah, it's true.
you know what I'm saying?
That's pretty damn true. Okay,
Say everything. Like I one of my homies from back in the day, man. Like he was a
yeah.
smart dude, and I was like, and every time he couldn't make it in like corporate America or he had some setback, he always blamed the Jews.
It's like, bro, it's the Yahud.
He was like, this guy was Jewish, and it creeps into a lot of people, man. I've heard like Muslims who are not even Palestinian. They were like, yeah,
Yeah.
this Jewish guy had it out for me, and I'm just like, for real. And I don't, I don't know. So and because and so for me, it's like I'm Bangladeshi, right? And
Yeah.
so Bangladesh borders India,
So it's the
and if you
Indians that always got it out for you.
well, that's what they say, right? They say that you can't trust these Hindus. These
Yeah.
Hindus are about to screw you, right? And I'll tell you, man, one of the best guys I've ever worked for was this Hindu dude,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy I worked for him. I haven't worked for him since 2017, but me and him just had breakfast like a few months back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't buy this whole thing of like, yeah, there might be some calculated cats, but if you're working in some
It's not in
corporation,
general, bro. It's not in
yeah,
general. My dad would tell me whenever he grew up in Palestine, we grew
yeah,
up in the West Bank. That's where he
yeah,
grew up.
right,
And he lived in my family's from a town called Ramon, which is right outside of Ramallah.
right, okay,
And he would say like they would go and they would work with the Yahud and they would they would share food with each other but he got beat up by the shurta. He got beat up by Israeli police too.
mm,
My
right,
dad.
right,
So it's not. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see this really as a full sale.
yeah.
It's the Yahud working against us, but you can't lie, bro. They got a lot of power, bro. You can't
They
lie.
do,
You
they
can't lie.
do,
They got
and
a lot of
sometimes
power. I don't care what anybody says. You could say anti-Semitic. I'm an Arab. That's the dumbest thing you could say to me. Number one, I'm an Arab. I'm a Semite. So if you say I'm an anti-Semite, I'm not a self-hating Arab. Okay, so let's fix that. Number one. Number two, bro, I'm blind and I can see that they got mad power. So if they don't got mad power, we're all blinder than me. All right. So they got power. They do have power. All right.
yeah.
Look at all the famous people in the world. What's my man's name? Zuckerberg. Come on, what is that? Come on, bro. Let's be real here. Let's stop. What you call? I'm not saying it's because of his Jewishness. I'm saying it's because a lot of them got mad power, bro. That's plain and
Well,
simple.
I want to give credit to
And I can't hate on them because of that.
well, here's
I
the thing. Yeah, I hear you. So, I used to, in general, to me, it's like not all Jews are Zionists, right? And
agreed.
and
Yeah.
they don't, and not all Hindu people are. See, that's the thing. Some Muslims are
Are
getting this trend now, or BJP, Modi
yeah, yeah, yeah,
supporters,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Yep.
Hindutva extremist, right?
Yeah.
So when you talk about like Jew, I used to work for I'll tell you a story. I wasn't expecting to go down this tangent here,
Yeah. No,
but
go ahead.
like
Go for it.
I've got to defend the Jews a little bit so I don't lose my job. You know
Nah,
what
like
I'm
I said,
saying?
yo, look, I'm cool with them. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm all right with it. I don't got no
Yeah,
problem with Jews in general. You
right,
know
right.
what I mean?
Right,
Every
right.
time we'd see them, I used to live in Elizabeth, New Jersey, too.
Okay,
Elizabeth is
okay,
the hood, by the way. If nobody
okay,
knows what Elizabeth, New Jersey is, it's right by Newark, New Jersey. It is the
okay.
hood. And they had this one section, like a really heavily Hasidic Jewish section.
Right.
And you'd see my mans with the hats and all that, and I'd be like, "Yo, what up, cousin?"
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and they'd look at me, and I'd be like, "Palestine," like, "Hey, cousin,"
Yeah. 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 No,
So,
and a lot of them, and you got the cats that come to like the ISNA conventions that are
mhm.
like in Kansas, and now to be fair, these are like a fringe minority, but still,
Yeah, but
right?
they're there. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But so I remember when I was going to junior college, I used to work for a guy. He was a Spanish Jew. He was I guess ethnically Jew. He was
Yeah.
Christian by religion, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this dude told me,
Like
but
from Spain.
I get so his this dude's story is he was an orphan from LA, right?
Okay.
He traces ethnicity back. Yeah, I think he was a Spanish Jew, whatever that. I think from either from Mexico or Spain. Like his mom, like his lineage was from there, but he was an orphan. He was dropped out. He grew up in an orphanage,
Okay.
and in LA, went to Ohio State on a full ride, and then ended up going to law school. And he
Yep.
started up like he started like a financial services kind of company, right? He would set up he would set up small businesses with like their business transactions and things of that sort, right? So
Mhm.
I met him at the library one day, just cold. I heard overheard him talking, and I just like small talked him outside the parking lot for a little bit. We connected, we became friends, and then when I was in junior college, he was a few years older than me, right? He's probably like 10 years. He got like 10 years on me, right? So I
Yeah.
was like 22. So this dude, you know, he basically one day he was like, "Hey man, if you ever need like a part time job or something, I could use some help making cold calls." So he would have me, give the Columbus Chamber of Commerce would give him a new list of businesses, and I would just go to his like. And so when I first met him, he was like in a nice suit and pressed. He drove an Infiniti Q45, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but I
I don't
found
know what
this
that means. So
Infinity. The Q45 is a Infinity sedan.
you got to understand, man. Blind guys, a lot of us, when you talk about cars, we're like,
Uh,
unless it's one of the baller cars, like the top baller cars, we don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So Infinity it was a Q45, and I remember. So when I met him, I was like, "Oh, this guy's probably got everything," but it was all an image on the outside because he was kind
Hmm.
of in sales. He had to do like, and he had a membership at like the Huntington Club, which is like it's a fancy club downtown Columbus,
Yeah.
just so he'd been seen.
Hmm.
But like when I went to his place, he was like, "Oh, you got to come to my office." Where's his office? It says apartment. I go to his
Yeah.
apartment. It's a studio joint in the hood in
Yeah, man.
Columbus,
Yeah.
right? And
Yep.
he was like, "Cause it's like $300 a month, dude."
Hmm.
And I was like, and then he would tell me all these. This dude was a trip. He would be like, "Hey, Maheen, listen, if you got to use the restroom, he's like, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down, because of the water bill."
Wow.
Like this
Wow.
dude, and he would told me about like all the because he would explain to me why Jews
Yeah.
are so successful, right? Even though he wasn't
Uh-huh.
even raised by Jewish parents, and he was a Christian by religion, he became an
Yeah.
evangel. He was like an evangelical Christian, right? But his blood was Jewish.
Evangelical Christian Jew.
Yeah. So his
Who's
blood was
from
Jewish
Mexico.
from Mexico, right? So he had done his research on like what it meant to be a Jew, and so he told me
Yeah.
he had me read his book called The Jewish Phenomenon, which is like
Okay.
really it's about how Jews like basically as a community came together, and
Yeah.
individually they were like they helped each other out. They did business
Yeah.
with each other. They kept the income, the cash
They
flow
kept the money
internal,
within the community. Yeah.
right? And also the work ethic, right? Within the Jewish community, right? Um,
Yeah.
so I read this book, and then he would like tell me sometimes, and he was like they prided themselves on how cheap they were. So have you ever heard of Schottenstein's?
No, what
No,
is that?
Schottenstein's is a big department store in Ohio, right?
Okay.
Obviously, by the name, it's a Jewish run store, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
obviously, yeah.
the Buckeyes, Ohio State, their men's basketball team is called Schottenstein Center. Right, so that's
Wow.
how big time they are, right? But I
Yeah.
remember one time we were walking in downtown Columbus. It's like 2000, 2003, and then he
Hmm.
was like, "Hey, you know who that is?" He said, "That's one of the Schottenstein guys, right?" And then he was
Hmm.
like, "In that suit he's wearing, that's like secondhand or something, right? He's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's how cheap they are, you know. But like, or he would introduce me to some of his banker friends who were Jewish, and he was like, look,
Yeah.
hey, this is my friend. His name is Frank Lazar. You know, Lazar, it's a
Mm-hmm.
Jewish name, right? It's like, look at the size of his nose. He's like, you know why we Jews we have big noses? I'm like, why is that? He's like, because air is free.
It was free. I heard that joke.
You know
I
what
knew
I'm
that joke already.
saying? So I was just like,
I knew
but
I
he
knew that
embraced it.
joke
I
already.
was like, yeah. So I was like, there's a lot. So I'm like, instead of just hating on these cats, like
Yeah.
there's so much we can learn from them in some
No,
ways.
no, I agree completely. Listen, if the Muslim community supported each other the way the Jewish community does, bro, we would be chilling. We would be chilling. But
Right.
the problem is any time a Muslim guy owns a store, we need that sabilillah discount.
Right.
Fi sabilillah, brother. Come on, brother,
Yeah.
please, brother,
For sure. For
please,
sure.
please, brother.
All right. Let's segue.
you
By
know,
the way, is Bill Maher is he's an atheist, but is he Jewish by ethnicity?
I don't know. I generally hate Bill Maher. I
Really?
really do. I don't
But
like
you
him at all.
but you
I
shared
think he
something
sucks.
with me the other day, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
play this.
because this is the. I mean, I've never seen something I've agreed with him. I mean, I don't agree with him 1,000,000%, but I agree with him a whole lot on this, and I'm sure you would a lot
Yeah,
of it too.
I did check it out. I'm gonna play. It's about a 9 minute clip. I'm gonna play it on 1.5 speed, so we ain't, you know, got everything. Because I don't like to put the whole clip, and listeners are viewing this thing, and they're like, we don't know. But I'll link the video maybe in the
Yeah, no, link
YouTube
it as well.
description as
Link it
well,
as well.
because I don't want to get like taken net like flagged or something by YouTube if I do it.
No,
So
no, let's watch it. You could run it fast. It's cool. It's reaction videos, bro. They have reaction videos all day.
yeah, let me go ahead and hit the share screen. Let's find this joint. All right, and then share. You see Bill Maher on my screen?
Yeah, I got it. I see
You
the
got it?
YouTube. I see YouTube up.
How's that? You see this?
Yeah,
You see Bill
I
Maher?
see. I see. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I see him. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I can't hear anything though.
You can't?
No.
Let's see here. Do I have to? I'm screen sharing. I should be able to.
Ask the chat if they hear it. I've seen it already, so
Let me ask the chat if they can hear it.
because I can't hear it, yo.
Can you guys hear the the chat? Can you guys hear the Bill Maher video? He says nope.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it, but that's not
No,
the
I can't
point.
hear it, bro.
They
Yeah,
they,
no.
they can see the thing, but no
But they
audio.
can't
Huh?
hear it.
I wonder
See
why.
if- make sure the audio ain't. It's. Well, you could hear it, so that don't make sense.
Yeah, let me. Maybe my video has to be all the way up, and I'll have to bust my.
Yeah, we can't hear it at all. We can't. Nothing. Now you got me echoing in the background, bro.
You can't hear that.
I can
Nothing.
hear somebody talking. Yeah, 4.2% of Gen X and all that. I can hear that. Yeah, but it's coming off of it's coming off of the speaker, like it's not playing naturally through the video. You know what I mean?
I got you. I got you. Okay. All right. Well, real quick. I guess I'll just summarize it.
Just summarize it. Yeah.
Click the audio settings in Zoom. Go back to Zoom. He says, "Oh, he told me." Okay.
All right.
Someone in the chat is. Let me shut my thing down real quick. Let me just put it down real quick. Am I muted?
No, I can hear you.
You hear me? Okay. Let me
Yeah.
go back to the chat. These cats know. All right. Click the audio settings in Zoom. Go back to Zoom. All right. And then go to preferences. And then same as system, speaker, microphone. How do I
Probably same as system speaker.
same as system?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I think it is.
Okay. and then let me hit now.
Now try to play it.
Wrong one. Wrong thing.
I mean, I'm guessing, so.
Can y'all hear now?
Nope.
Share audio.
Nope.
Nope.
Maybe you got it. Yeah. Maybe it's
Share
that.
audio. He said share audio. Share audio. Share. Not stop video.
This is how we learn.
Share. Yes, how we learn. First time I've ever done this. Remote control. Auto. This is weird as hell.
I'm hearing something now.
No, that's just me. That's just me. So, anyways, forget it. I'm just gonna hit stop share. That was like,
it's fine. It's fine.
We're not gonna waste time with that. But
yeah, no, that was about 9 minutes altogether. That was
we wasted.
That was the size of the clip.
So, anyways, the thing is,
you'll link it in the bottom, inshallah, for people to watch it. But the whole point of this is that Bill Maher he's going through the statistics of how many people identify as LGBTQXYZ, and how he believes it's just a trend. Like it's not real. It's a trend. It's people see it's hot and it's dope and it's what's people are all interested in, and this is what's the hot button topic. So young people, teens and stuff are just saying, oh yeah, we're gay, we're lesbian, we're bi, we're trans, we're gender fluid, neutral, I'm a tree, I'm a chair, I like to lick tree posts, stuff like that. So because of that, people, teenagers and stuff like that are just saying that they're this and that just for the attention. And one thing he said, he was like, if you think, I think one of the quotes was like, if you think these kids or these people think wouldn't put their gender up, they care more about their gender than they do their likes, you're out of your mind. Mm-hmm. And one thing he said was, he was like, if an 8-year-old was able to make a decision on what they were going to be when they grow up, the world will be filled with cowboys and princesses.
Right. Yeah, because he said when he was 8 years old, he's like, he wanted to be a pirate.
He wanted to be a pirate. He's like, thank God they didn't send me in for the removal of the eye and peg leg surgery. Which is so true, man. That's so true. Like, don't give me this crap that this 8-year-old kid, this 8-year-old boy thinks he's a girl or whatever. Like, you're gonna automatically get him on hormone blockers and all this nonsense. Like, yo, don't give me this. This is abuse. This is 1,000,000% abuse. This is 100% abuse. And the thing that pisses me off, gets me so pissed about all of this, is that I'm a blind parent. Right? And people have tried to take my kids away from me because I'm blind, right? Not for any other reason other than the fact that I'm blind and my wife is blind. My kids are perfectly healthy. My kids are perfectly fine. But they want to take my kids away from me. But these people that are actively harming their kids, like legitimately doing irreversible things to their children, they let it fly. That's okay. That's acceptable. As a matter of fact, if you don't do that, then you're abusive to your children. A'udhu billah, bro. A'udhu billah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think that's where... Are your kids in public... Your kids are homeschooled, right?
Hell yeah, they're homeschooled. The one reason why we homeschool them is because every year they're going to get a new teacher. And a new teacher is going to be like, oh, you have blind parents? And then there's another inquiry from a social worker. Get out of here with that nonsense.
What word? Like, so what? Go into that. Can you share a little bit more? What goes on there?
With what?
Every time you say you have a new teacher, and then they find out
if they went to public school, you know what I mean?
Okay, so
like, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So whenever my oldest was born, Abdullah, when my oldest Abdullah was born, before he was born, we met 5, 6 different social workers. Them just going up to us and asking us, who's going to help you raise your child? Like, what do you mean who's going to help me raise your child? We're going to raise my child. I'm going to raise my child myself. What do you mean who's going to help me? And whenever he was born, they kept him in the hospital for another like 8 or 9 days, constantly giving us excuses and constantly saying, constantly giving us social workers until we threatened to sue. Then the next day he was ready to come home.
Mm.
And this is all because we're blind. All because we're blind. That's the whole reason why. And it happened after that. So after Abdullah was born, whenever we had our other kids, we went into these hospitals guns blazing. You know what I mean? Like, this is the law. This is what you have to do. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do that. And I remember one of them was like, "Oh, well, we may have a social worker come to your home to check up for safety and all that." I was like, "Do you do that with every single one of your patients that have a child?" They're like, "No." I was like, "So then I'm not going to do it. And if you insist on doing it, you will be speaking to my attorney because this is what we have to go through." So one big reason why we homeschool, besides the fact that I don't want my child to grow up on whitewashed history. You know what I mean? Plain and
Mm-hmm.
simple. I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
I want my kids to know the truth. We have, we do our own Islamic studies in the house. We do math, we do language arts, they do their own science, they do all this stuff, and it's, but we control the narrative. We tell them what really happens.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be if they went to public school, every year they get a new teacher. They will always get a new teacher in every grade. So that's one more opportunity for someone to question our parenting based on our disability.
Right.
And
Um.
like I said, this is what that drives me insane. That you're going to question my parenting because of my disability, but it's okay for for a parent to take their son to go get a sex change because he feels like a girl. It's like, bro, it's like he doesn't know what he wants. He's confused. You need to go take him to figure out what the hell's going on with him. That's what you need to go do.
Right.
So
I
yeah,
mean, did you have the
that
issue with the
really
other?
pisses me
Did,
off.
did you have the issue with the other kids after Abdullah?
No, because like I said, we went in there in war mode. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
we went to the hospitals like this is how it's gonna be. We had some like a little bit of pushback, but whenever I like I told you, I gave you that scenario with them saying we're gonna send a social worker to your house. And I pushed back on that, and that was the last thing we heard of that.
Mm.
So nothing really happened after that, alhamdulillah. But we went to
So
a totally different hospital. We didn't even go to the same hospital.
okay,
We weren't playing
but
those
but I
games.
guess for your first child, you weren't ready, you weren't anticipating that necessarily,
No,
right?
no. And we went to the Muslim community, no support. We went to the blind community. There's an organization called the National Federation of the Blind.
Mm.
And we went to their state convention to try to ask them for assistance before, she gave birth. Nothing,
Mm.
no help, no assistance, no nothing. So we went in by ourselves and alhamdulillah, we did what we had to do. It was horrible. We both have scars from that. You know what I mean? Because
Mm.
khalas, man, it's yeah, me and her spent our whole lives of people saying you can't do this, you can't do that. Not even from our own families. Like in my family, I got other blind people, so it's whatever. My dad. Funny story. My dad would work construction, and me and my brother would go work with him on the weekend. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So I would go
Mm.
work construction. If I'd go knock over a table, my dad would smack me upside the head and be like, "Well, like fatta anek," with like, "Boy, open your eyes." So it wasn't nothing different. It was like blindness was not the issue growing up.
Right.
But whenever we entered into the work life,
Yeah.
everywhere I went, every time I tried to go get another job, my peers would be like, "You can't do this, you can't do that." I would go do it. You
Hmm.
know, but whenever you have somebody literally taking, I mean, you would understand this. I mean, you're a parent. I mean, you really don't understand love until you have this child. Like, I don't think you do. As a parent, I really don't think you know what love is until you actually hold your child.
Right.
And it's like this is my responsibility. And now you have somebody saying you're not capable of taking care of this responsibility and we're going to try to keep this away from you as much as humanly possible.
Right. Right. For
So
sure.
that's one reason why we're super strict on COVID stuff. That's one reason why. Because if my kids get COVID, it's not, oh, there's COVID and your kids will get COVID. It's you're blind, you were neglectful. That's why your kids got COVID.
Hmm.
So we have to be careful. So yeah, little paranoia, but it is what it is.
Right. And, the other thing that Bill Maher was talking about was that, like, I guess there's this idea that, like, things are like, obviously these trends are regional too, right?
Yeah.
California is going to have people who are more into, like he's like every parent at a, you go to dinner party in California,
They
and
each
like
have they each
trans
have a
kid.
transgender kid. Yeah, exactly. But in Youngstown, Ohio, they don't got it. It's like, so is this something that is real, or is this something that we're pushing on our
Yeah,
youth?
they'll
You
say
know
the
what I mean?
Youngstown were repressing their true identities versus in California. No, but it's like it's
Like, are
again,
you
it's
are
not.
you are you putting it down, or are you promoting it? Like, that's
Yeah,
really what it is.
did you ever listen to the podcast I did with the transgender Hafiz?
No,
You act like you didn't know I did this interview.
no, I did not know you did this interview.
What?
A
What?
transgender Hafiz. Is this the dude that runs the that transgender masjid in Chicago?
No, that's. I think that's just the LGBT masjid. I don't think it's a transgender masjid. Masjid
I
Rabia.
I don't know. I have no idea, man. Ya Allah, what is wrong with people, bro? Okay, anyway, yeah, tell me about
Yeah.
this transgender
So,
Hafiz, please.
so one of the things that we ended
A'udhu
up.
billah. I can't believe this, bro.
You gotta
What
check
is
the
wrong
interview
with
out.
people?
You
Yeah,
gotta
I
check the
will.
interview. Check the interview out, right?
No, I will. I will.
And you know what? I was civil with the person. You know what I'm saying? Because they're my guest, right?
Yeah, of
So,
course.
so some of my friends were like, "Hey, man, you kind of were okay with him." I was like, "Listen,
You're being
like he's my
respectful.
guest, yeah." Because at the end of the day, you're trying to hear a story, and you're trying to
Yeah.
like also understand the mindset behind what triggers something. Because this kid grows up in a religious household, right?
Yep.
The mother, she in a nutshell, lives by the masjid, so he can go to
Mm-hmm.
hifz school, the
Yep.
madrasa,
Yep.
right? And what he starts off with is he's he's a trans woman. That
Mm-hmm.
means he's a male
Yeah,
who
that thinks he's a
transitioned to
woman.
female. Correct, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So so he's saying as a teenager he starts realizing he's got same-sex attraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
15, 16 years old. So he's
Yep.
gay, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting that, Bill Maher makes an interesting point here that I actually, he's like, the gay man today is like normal, it's
Is
like
like
cisgender,
is exactly. Is a normal dude. Yep.
because
Exactly.
it's gone so extreme that
Yep.
that's considered normal. And I think he's kind of spot on because, like, when like you could deal with gay folks at work, out and about, you might know it doesn't really
Yeah,
bother
it's
you as
not. It's
much.
not really out there. But
You know what
this
I'm
is the
saying?
thing. Again, I want you to finish your story, and then I'm gonna comment.
Yeah, but then he starts with that, and then what happens is that, like, um,
He
once
wasn't molested.
well, you don't,
He
no,
was
but
molested. He was touched. He was something like that. Listen, everyone that's gay, everyone that's bi, everyone that's trans, everyone that's a lesbian, they all had some sort of thing that happened to them when
you
they were a kid.
you think
One
so?
million percent. I'm not saying they all got molested, but they all got daddy issues. They all got mommy issues. They every single one of them. It's all a mental disorder.
So-
I
so,
1,000,000%.
So
And hold on. And if it's not, let's say it's not, then khalas, this is your test from Allah, bro. Deal with it. Take a walk. All right. Keep it in your pants, and let's keep it moving. All right. Plain and simple.
well, that's how I like. To me, it's kind of like, I don't know that it's in people's control, right? Because this guy, he grew up in a conservative household and
Yeah.
was like, he knew it was haram. So in the interview, you'll see he's like, he knows this is haram, right?
Okay.
So he's
So
fighting
he knows what he did was haram to
okay.
himself.
Well, he did it again and again. He hasn't done nothing yet. All he has same sex attraction.
Okay.
So he,
But this is when he's 15, you're saying?
15, 16. He's got a
Alright.
crush on some dude, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's fighting it. He knows it's haram. He just contends like, I got to fight this thing, right?
Yeah.
But then what happens is he comes across other gay Muslims who are about that life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then they introduce him to like this guy named Scott Kugel, who he's like one of the imams of the progressive Muslim agenda,
Okay.
right? And so he reads his book, and then Ed justifies LGBT, all that stuff, right? And this is where me and him got into a little bit because I was just like, I had read Kugel's works and his thesis, and I was like, this thesis is really flawed. There's a lot of gaps here that he can't, because he tries to quote classical ulama like Ibn Hazm.
Bro.
I'm like, yo, dude, Ibn Hazm's final ruling is that it's haram. Like,
Bro.
so I don't know why you could quote him, right?
Bro,
So anyways,
give me a hadith, give me an ayah. You don't
Right.
got it, leave it.
And they're
That's it.
saying that with the verses and the
They're gonna
basic
use
line,
that they're talking about rape or something.
correct. So
Yeah.
the
So
prophet,
it's okay to rape women. Then that's what they're saying. Then that's what they're saying. It's
you
okay to
know,
rape women because they say don't approach men with this.
right.
So it's okay to
Well,
rape women, right? That's what you're saying.
they're
Don't
saying
nobody take this as a soundbite and then say, look at what Brother Nadir said. I'm not saying that,
all of
all
a sudden,
right,
all of a sudden, Islam by touch gets no more sponsorships.
bro. Listen. The reason why I'm going to ICNA and I'm not talking is because I don't kiss these people's asses. Plain and simple. That's what it is. I don't kiss nobody's ass. I'm very honest. Alhamdulillah. Forgive me for my language.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. I say this is what it is. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to support the blind community. I'm not trying to jump on any other bandwagon. All right. You want to support the blind community? You want to help with that? Let's do this. Right?
Right.
You wanna stick to the truth? All right, but let's do this. You want me to be like, oh well, the blind agenda and the LGBT agenda are equal? Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Take a walk with that. All right? No, but I know that argument, and it's a flawed argument. It's a stupid argument, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Listen, I've been giving dawah to like one of my boys and other people, and I've been saying that there are universal truths, right? And a universal truth is like all three monotheistic religions agree on these things. And if they agree upon them, it doesn't matter what you say you are. How can you argue against it?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and all three of them agree that, homosexuality, the acts of homosexuality is haram. All three of them. You know what I mean? All three agree. It's a universal truth. So, why are all three of these saying this? And then all of a sudden, it's okay. It's this, don't get me, like, let's be real here, bro. Let's be real here. Soon, if not already, what's that thing whenever people marry each other's brothers and sisters? What do they call that?
Incest.
Incest is going to be normal. Then why isn't pedophilia normal? If that's all normal, why isn't pedophilia normal? Why?
I'll tell you why pedophilia will never become.
I guarantee it'll be normal. I guarantee it. Give it 50 years, it'll be normal. I guarantee.
This is my thesis on pedophilia, right?
Okay.
Why it won't fly? Because the trauma that the kids are going to experience. Because if someone's into like screwing like 5-year-olds, right?
Okay.
Right.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
bad.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Right. At the age of 5, that kid has no agency, right?
Yeah.
But that kid's gonna grow up with that trauma, and then like come out and be like, "What the hell?" There's just gonna be too many people growing up saying that like the pedophilia movement essentially would me too itself.
The only way that'll actually work is if all of these 5-year-olds that are being forced into these transitions actually grow up and do that first. You understand? Because they're saying this 5-year-old has enough self-agency to tell you that he's a girl and she's a boy. So if they have enough for that, then let them go buy alcohol. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let them go drive cars. I don't see 5-year-olds driving cars. Why not? They're old enough to tell you what they really are. But you understand what I mean? So a 10-year-old will say, I identify as a 20-year-old. A 20-year-old will say, I identify as a 10-year-old. And since, people can identify themselves as trees, then why can't they identify themselves as different ages?
Right.
And different races? And this is the issue, bro. And this is the truth. Where is the line? They'll say the line is here, but every 10, 20, 30 years, that line gets moved.
Well, it's moving much more frequently than that, because 10 years ago, this would have a lot of stuff we're talking about would have been crazy, and it was just thinking. If you think about, and I think people have left their brains at the how much time you got, by the way? I told
care.
you.
We can talk whenever you want, bro.
All right. So so I don't know if you know, Dr. Jordan Peterson did his interview with Sheikh Hamza Yusuf came out.
I didn't
today.
hear it. I didn't hear it yet.
I got through half of it, right?
Right.
But a lot of the woke Marxist types are super upset about it, because Jordan Peterson's a white supremacist, Hamza Yusuf's a white supremacist. You got two white supremacists talking to each other.
Why is Hamza Yusuf a white supremacist? I never heard this before.
No, there's a lot of Muslims that say he's a white supremacist.
Bro,
Okay.
man, like, come on with this nonsense, bro. Wallah al-azim, bro. Muslims are so retarded nowadays. You know that?
Right.
In general, Muslims are retarded. People have become so stupid nowadays. I don't get it. Yani,
Yeah.
why don't you just see common sense? Okay? Just
Right.
common sense. Especially if you're a Muslim, bro. Your whole platform, your whole life should be based on the haqq,
Right.
right? If it's haqq, we go with it. If it's not, we leave it. If it's
Right.
ambiguous, then you got your gray area, and then you could, do whatever you want in there. I'm not a scholar. I'm just a lay, dumb person that doesn't know anything.
Right.
But in general, like, come on, guys. He's a white supremacist. I don't understand why. I don't get why he would be a white. I never heard him say anything crazy, bro. The other day, I'm in this blind group, right?
Right.
I'm in blind WhatsApp groups, and somebody said something about Zakir Naik, and this girl was like, "Oh, you shouldn't listen to him. He was banned from countries, and he's a Wahhabi, and all this." And I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" I was like, first of all, I was like, "Listen, I don't take Zakir Naik as a scholar or anything like that. Whatever, he does his thing. He does his thing. But if you're accusing him of something, where's the evidence? Number one.
Right.
Number two, don't use the word Wahhabi against each other. I was like, number one, that's something the kuffar use against us. And number two, don't nobody in this group know anything about Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, rahmatullah alayh. Nobody in here knows anything about Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. You just use this term because these dumbass white people use the term against us all the time. And you were like, oh, let's use this too. So that's what happens.
Well, I got my, I turned on my dude.
What's up?
Ibn Abdul Wahhab. He used to be. I got his books downstairs, but I flipped on him, so I can't
Bro,
like.
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying he's right, he's wrong. I'm not saying
Right.
any of that. What I'm saying is don't.
But I think a lot of the Wahhabi terms came from Muslims themselves. And I think,
That's what it is, bro. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
but I mean, as far as like the
But who uses it more than anything else? Where are you gonna hear this term Wahhabi more than anything
a
else?
lot of non-Muslims, but a lot of liberal Muslims use it to paint all conservatives with it as a broad brush too.
Yeah,
right?
like come on. What is like? It's ridiculous. Like, bro, listen. I want to follow Quran and Sunnah, right?
Right.
And I mean, listen. You want to have a madhab? That's fine, bro. Do your thing. Khalas khair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But don't be mad at me because I'm like, bro, this is the Sunnah.
Right.
This is the Quran, bro. Like, you can't argue with me with your sheikh and an ayah from the Quran. You can't. It doesn't
Right.
matter. I don't care who your sheikh is. You can't. I mean, I'm ignorant. I'm a nobody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But that implies that the shuyukh are used the shuyukh of a madahib use Quran and Sunnah. That's what people don't realize.
Okay, khair. And that's where it goes. That's as far, and that's where we are, like that's where a lot of ignorant people talk out of ignorance. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yep.
If you don't
So-
know better, just keep your mouth shut. Life would be so much better for that.
Yeah, so Jordan Peterson, when he brought Muhammad Hijab on before, right?
Yeah.
When Hamza Yusuf Tong, and people started coming out of the woodwork like white supremacist Jordan Peterson. And I personally, I don't have a dog in this Jordan Peterson, fight. I know that's gonna, like, it's, he's not someone that really interests me, personally,
Yeah.
Peterson.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into his book, The 12 Laws of Life or whatever that was, his audiobook. I was like,
Man, you read too many like smart books.
it was audible. It was audible, man. I just couldn't get into it.
like
But anyway,
whenever I read books, like I either like Islamic stuff, like I
Yeah.
legitimately like to listen to like lectures about
Yeah.
the Sahaba and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or I listen to fantasy books. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the Stormlight Archive or something like that. That's what I
Yep.
that's what I read for entertainment.
Yeah, but anyways,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I remember hearing about Peterson when the whole gender pronoun thing in Canada popped off. He was on Rogan, and people were like, and I couldn't even get into that interview to be honest. But one day I was
Yeah.
at home. I think Amazon Prime has a documentary on Peterson, the rise of Peterson, and he was a University of Toronto psychology professor. That's what he is. You
Okay.
know, he's basically another academic, and he's like a normal dude who sees something weird happening in society. Like
And
we got
calls it
70
weird.
We have 70 pronouns now. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
And kind of calls it out, and people call him a bigot and
Yeah.
this. And then it became white supremacist and this
Yeah.
and that because it just cascaded. And I was like, how? And to this day, I'm like, how is your boy a white supremacist? All right.
Yeah, like what did he say?
You know what I'm saying?
Show evidence.
Or he's a Nazi or
Show
this
evidence.
and that, Yeah, right.
This
So-
the problem, bro. Like I will, there's this one guy on YouTube. I watch clips from him every now and then, and he's probably not your jam, but I think my man's name like Abu Mus'ab or something like that.
Oh, come on, man.
Look. Listen. I watch clips from him every now and
You
then.
watch Milkshake? Come on, man. Like,
Look. So my man, he said something that was very, very profound.
Okay, go ahead. I'll listen. We listen to Bill Maher on the show. We'll entertain Abu Musab. Go ahead. All right.
He said one of the greatest calamities that has happened to this society is that everybody has an opinion on everything. And I think that is very true.
Right.
Everybody has an opinion. So yes, I know my man is super duper Salafi. I know that. You know what I mean? But like I said, whenever we both got on our deen, we were both super duper Salafi too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, alhamdulillah.
But to me, I don't think I would have even in my Salafi days. I don't think I do like Abu Musab. I would have vibed with him because he wore too many tracksuits. You know what I'm saying? Like my top. You know what I'm saying? Like I would need a dude, and plus he's got hair and he shaves his head. So it's kind of like some people would say, they would say back in the day, if you shaved your head like that and you didn't not to knock you because you got a shaved head too, they would say you're from the Khawarij. The Salafis would say this. This is a type of sign of the Khawarij. And I don't know where they got this from. I remember hearing it though.
There is a hadith that says that they will have their head shaved. That is one. But it says that they will never let their hair grow.
Ah, okay.
They will always have their head shaved. Yani, you will never see them with hair on their head.
But with that being said, I will always have a reverence for the ulama, the Dawah Salafiyah, like Sheikh Ibn Baz and Ibn Uthaymeen, Al-Albani, and because we learned a lot from them, right? And even though I'm probably people probably think I'm like now I like going to Molids and stuff like that, but I still like remember my roots. You know what I mean?
I don't do that though.
Yo, hey, next time you come to Chicago, I'm gonna take you to a Molid.
I'm not going to no Molid, doc. I want to go to Sabri Nahari. That's where I want to go.
hey, I think you and I have been boys long enough now.
Yeah.
Where you can take me anywhere you want me to go. I'll take Eddie, and I got dibs on you as long as that ain't no strip club or something.
No, fair, we're good.
Palestinians sometimes in Patterson get down. You know what I mean?
No, man, that's not me. That's not me.
As long as it's like halal, it might be bidah, but as long as it's like not haram, you know what I'm saying?
Look, man, listen. All we can do is do the best we can. Right? That's the way I see it. All we can do is the best we can. May Allah guide us all. We all need guidance, right? We all slip. Please forgive me. I ask Allah to forgive me for my language. I know I said A-double-S twice here, 3 times or something like that, but I didn't drop any F-bombs, alhamdulillah. So, but this is, listen, we got to be real about things. We can have nice conversations about things. But we shouldn't. The one thing I want to just kind of end with. I don't know if we're ending this or not, but whatever.
Yeah. Go ahead and end.
One thing I want to end this with is we shouldn't sell our deen for likes. We shouldn't be selling our deen for likes. We shouldn't be selling our deen for sponsorships. We shouldn't be selling our deen to get to get main billing at one of these big conventions. We need to know, man. Allah will hold us accountable. Right at the end of the day, we will be held accountable. So. Let's just all do our best, bro, to hold tight to this deen. And I'm about to drop a freestyle for you real quick. Now I'm playing.
How can people find out more about Islam by Touch? Where can they go?
They could go to islambytouch.com. That's our website, islambytouch.com. Please donate. It does go towards making Islam more accessible to the blind community. You can follow us on our socials. Everything is at Islam by Touch. I'm pretty much the guy running it along with a couple other people. So if you don't see posts on Instagram and stuff, it's because it ain't really blind friendly, but we do our best, inshallah. And if you fill out that contact form on islambytouch.com, it's going to come right to me. I actually see that email and I'll reply to that email. So please hit me up. Let me know if you got any suggestions. You want me to come through wherever you're at. Inshallah, we could talk a little more. Barakallah fikum.
Well, I appreciate listeners and viewers showing up tonight. If anyone has not also subscribed, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe. Help us grow this channel. Just put out a video yesterday with CD Arthur Richards, who says hijab is obligatory. So think about it. You know, I
got no issues with that.
You know, say hijab.
I got no issues with hijab.
No, not hijab. Hijra.
Oh, hijra. Yeah, you said hijab.
Yeah, hijab is obligatory too. That's obligatory too, right? But that's not controversial. Hijra.
Hijra,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know
You know
about
what I'm
that
saying? You know what I'm
because
saying?
in most countries, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I wouldn't be able to get married. I wouldn't be able to have kids. Most Muslim countries nowadays, I wouldn't be able to do that stuff.
Oh, because
So
they have nothing for the blind folks
they
there,
have
huh?
absolutely nothing for the blind except for me to sit in the corner, get fat, and be a hafiz. That's about it. That's about all I can do over there.
It's not a
Get
bad deal
fat, be a
though.
hafiz.
You know, Hafid, they say your parents will wear crowns on Yom Qiyamah.
Bro, this is the thing, right? If you're a hafiz, is it just memorizing the Quran or is it actually understanding what you're saying as well?
I mean,
Because
you
because
go by the parent.
what's the description of the Khawarij, right? They recite Quran, but it doesn't leave their throats.
But they said they recite. They didn't say they memorized.
Yani, they can memorize it, bro, but yani, if they don't understand what they're saying, yani, yes, there's a benefit in reciting the Quran,
Right.
but you know, like let's follow the Sahaba here. How'd they memorize Quran? They'd memorize 10 ayat, understand them, implement them, then move on to the next 10 ayat.
Bet.
Right? Boom. Mic drop. Yeah, we got to do this again, inshallah. I'll have
Inshallah,
fun.
man. What the like? Yeah, next time I get the like YouTube reaction link to work and stuff. So
It's all
listeners
good,
out,
man. It's all good.
Yeah,
Barakallahu feekum, guys.
Feekum,
Listen,
barakallah. Yeah.
yo, share this, like this man's page, Sultans and Sneakers. I'm the Sultan, he's the sneakers, and and like this, guys. Wallahi, man, Maheen, may Allah reward you, may Allah
Ameen.
increase you, may Allah grant you millions and millions of dollars, so you can donate at least one of those millions of dollars to Islam by Touch.
Yo. All right. We'll inshallah we'll see y'all next week on the stream on Monday night. Trying to keep us regular. For now, not for my special guest Nadir Tabata, Islam by Touch.
I'm
your
down.
host,
I'll be here every week if you
Maheen, the
want me, bro. Let's do it.
podcaster. I mean, like, I just gotta like, you gotta chill on like the pro Wahhabi tropes, though. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, then get out of here. See, you said what happened again, bro. Come on,
I know.
man.
All right, we out. Take
All right,
care.
yo, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. End stream.